Have you thought about getting a side gig, a side hustle, some extra work going that you could do, bring in some extra cash, get some extra experience, and for whatever reason, do that side hustle? Well, a lot of people are doing that today. Matter of fact, we're seeing that more and more today in the episodes that we're going through and the crises that are happening almost on a daily basis and seeing what's happening right now. And people are saying, I need a way to get some extra cash. So what do you do? Hi, I'm Terry Brock, and I talk with people around the world about this. A lot of individuals, sole proprietors, as well as large Fortune 10 corporations on what to do and how they can deploy some of the right technologies, use marketing, use video, and be able to get a lot of things done. I want to share with you some ideas, and also something I thought was really, really nice, gave me some ideas on what to do and what you can do right now if you want to get that going, how to begin in a safe and sound way without having to risk everything. We're not saying give up everything you've got to try to get rich quick. No, that's not going to happen. But there are certain steps you can take that will make it better. Matter of fact, I was reading today an article that I thought was really good. It was in on MSNBC, written by Taylor Locke, and she was talking about Kevin O'Leary. He said, if I had to start a side hustle right now with some extra money, this is what I do. So I think, well, hey, Kevin O'Leary is a guy that I respect a lot. And if he says this is what I do, I'd be very interested in that. And the article goes on and shares that how he started his first company in his basement in 1986. He's got into the learning company, working with some other partners. They sold it to Mattel for $4.2 billion. Hey, that's not bad at all. That's some pretty good money there. And so I think, okay, well, what would he do today? So, and he said, if I lost everything and had to start from scratch, I would find a problem everybody had and I'd solve it. Okay, well, that makes real good sense there. And I think something like that is very important. He said there's many people scrambling to figure out their lives right now that need help in all kinds of things. But yet, even in the midst of that, companies like Zoom are doing pretty well. And he goes on to say something I thought was just really, really good here. Put yourself out there on every social media platform as being available, ready to work 24/7, O'Leary says. Use everything from Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, freelance programs like Fiverr, UpWork, TaskRabbit, etc. And tell people, give me a problem and I'll fix it for you. So the idea of you getting out there and really being a virtual assistant, helping people and others that need some help on that, and people that say, hey, I need your help on this. Can you do that for me? You say, yes, I can do it for X dollars. And they go, oh, okay, we can work something out. Here it is. Well, let me give you some of the steps that I found could be really helpful as you're working with this and you want to really get it going and move it in the right direction of what you can do. So I'm going to call this how to start and grow your side hustle. What you can do to get that thing moving in the right way, do it in the right way that's going to be safe and secure, but also risky, not giving up your current job. That's something you don't want to do right away, particularly if you don't have the cash. Now, if you've got several years of cash hanging around, you've got the expenses and you've got the funding for it, well, then that might be a different story. But for most of us, we're going to say, well, let me just take a little while here before I do that right now. And by the way, if I can help you out on this, you can reach me. terrybrock.com is probably the best place there on my website. All the social media contacts are available, so you can get in touch with me if I can help you out in some ways on this. But number one, I would say first thing you want to do is study the market needs. What you think is nifty and groovy, that's nice, but with all due respect, what matters is what the market needs. There's so many pieces in the marketplace that are changing constantly. The good news is it is changing constantly. The bad news is it is changing constantly. That means there's more competition, more people that are doing these things. But if you can start looking at what is out there, what people are looking for, where they need help, then you're going to do much better. Number two, I'd say, is decide on compatible versus completely different jobs. For instance, you might be working at a company right now where you're prohibited by contract from going out and competing with them or doing something even similar, or maybe even doing any kind of side hustle. Find out about that first, make sure that you're okay, and make sure you've got the area of expertise that is needed for that secondary job. Are you going to do something like maybe right now you're working at a grocery store doing something and you want to go out and teach piano lessons because you've played piano for a long time? Okay, that's probably all right. Something like that would be very good. However, if you're a lawyer and you specialize in this and you want to go over and do some other kind of law on the side, that might not be as acceptable. So be careful and decide what's going to work for your situation. And be willing and able to upskill. In today's market, we constantly want to learn new, but not just to learn something for learning something. There's no end in sight of wonderful new topics and things you can learn about. What you want to do is you want to find out something that is market valuable, something that is going to be useful to people, and they go, "Oh, you can do that for me? Well, then by golly, hey, I'll pay you money. How much you charge me to do that for me?" You want to find that market need. I'm going to tell you a little bit later how you can do that a little bit better. You want to then advertise what needs you have there on Facebook, on Google, and wherever. Like Kevin O'Leary was talking about, Twitter, elsewhere, and just say, "Hey, I've got a new program, or I've got a business and I'm doing this, etc." And rather than saying, "Hey, hire me because I'm wonderful," find out their need and say, "I can solve this for you. I can do that for you. I see you've got a problem with that. I've done this before. I know exactly what to do, A, B, C." And sometimes that means you got to go out and do it first for the experience. You'll do it somewhere in at least a limited way, so you acquire that experience. Then you can say, "I've done this before." And you have, and you've got the legitimate street cred and the chops to do it because you did it out there in the real world. And then I would suggest number 5, visit some groups, contribute, things like Facebook groups or LinkedIn groups, contribute and build relationships. Social media is really about social. You want to get out there and meet people, find out their needs, listen to where they're hurting, and think about how you can help them. Don't just say, "Hi, I'm wonderful, buy my stuff." But what you want to do is you want to be able to find out where they're hurting and where they're ready, willing, and able to pay money for it. Lots of people are hurting in different areas, and some areas where you might have a ability to help them. But you want to make sure that it's something that is going to be market valuable and people are ready, willing, and able to pay for that. Number 6, then, you want to get yourself set up with accounts. You want to get set up with places like UpWork, which can be a great place to find people who will hire you. Also a great place to go to hire others in other tasks. Fiverr is kind of like that also. They started with just $5, but now it's much more than that. So you can get a lot of good people there and be able to work with them from anywhere in the world. Make sure you've got an account on how you can get paid. PayPal or Stripe are 2 good possibilities, and there are many others out there. Also, don't forget cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrencies work out really well, because you can tell someone, "Okay, it'll be so much in maybe Bitcoin or Dash or Bitcoin Cash," the one I particularly like. There's a lot of tools out there. We won't get into all of that right here, but that's a good way to get paid quickly, get paid with minimal exchange fees back and forth, something to look into for what you're doing. And then hustle like crazy. I recommend that you hustle in work, you hustle in your learning, and most of all, hustle in asking questions, finding out what it is that people want. What is an area where they're hurting and they need some help. Ask a lot of questions. Ask more questions than you make statements. But get out there and hustle like that. And I think you do that combination, and you're going to be much, much farther along the road to getting that side hustle going, that extra income coming in. And by the way, if I can help you out on this, I'd love to hear from you. I've got a website set up, 20withterry.com, where I give you the opportunity at no charge to have 20 minutes with me. Usually we do this over Zoom, or we might do it over the phone, but some way I can talk with you and we can explore what you're doing, and I can give you some answers, and if it helps you, that's great. And we might have an opportunity to work together more. I do a lot of consulting, a lot of coaching for people. This might be a good way to get answers for you and find out some ways that we can help you get those skills that you need. So drop over to 20 with Terry, that's 20 WITHTERRY, 20withterry.com. Well, thanks for being with me today. Really nice to have you here, and I appreciate you taking time to sit down and talk. That is, at least with yourself, and find out the kinds of things that you can do. Think about that side hustle and how you do it, because having a side hustle is going to be something that will help you to get ahead, help to give you the skills so that maybe you're working right on a place right now that's good, but there could come a time when it's no longer there. You want to have those extra skills ready to go. I'm Terry Brock. Thank you very much for joining me today.